the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Slogan, and I'm here bringing y'all this video, which is my podcast for the week of March 20th. This will be dropping on the 19th. And we're just going to have the same usual topics, talk about what I've been listening to, what I will be listening to. I will be giving a quick short review to the Blueface album, Find the Beat, and then just a short little discussion at the end. But I want to start this off by saying I hope y'all have had a good time, stayed safe, stayed away from anyone during this quarantine. Yeah, I know I'm not technically quarantined or whatever, but, just with everything shut down, it kind of feels that way. School's out right now. I will be moving to online classes starting next week, so that'll be interesting, going from an in-class to online. We'll see if I have any clinicals coming with that, but, yeah. Just been trying to grind out these videos, get ahead in my work, stuff like that this past week. It's been a little stressful, but also nice to be able to relax and play some video games. I got into the Uncharted series, been playing some Smash Bros, 2K, all that stuff. You know how it goes. That's enough about me. Just wanted to give y'all a little update. Hope y'all are doing well as well. Continue to stay safe, stay away from areas where too many people will be gathered. Just if there is a risk that you can't get it, we don't want to spread it. I know people our age aren't really as much at risk, but you got to think, what if you have a parent or a family member, or what if you have a friend that has a parent or a family member that is diabetic, has heart conditions, is over the age of 50 or 60, whatever, grandparents, parents, whatever, that could get this disease and end up dying because of that. Like, yes, we can live through it, but it's not all about us. So I just want to start with that little blurb. But moving on, what have I been listening to this past week? Obviously, the albums that came out, the JLEC album, Lil Uzi Vert, Don Toliver. I got through the Blueface project somehow. Other than that, I went through Kanye's discography just because, I just do that every once in a while. I felt like he was one of my top scrabbled artists. For those of you who don't know, Last.fm is an app that counts how many times you listen to an artist, a song, an album, whatever. And Scrabbles, you get 1 to 2 Scrabbles per song. Sometimes it's inconsistent with that, but I usually get 2 Scrabbles per song. And Kanye just became my first 1,000 Scrabble artist. After him, I went through the Weeknd's discography. I actually just finished that literally like an hour ago. And he became my second 1,000 Scrabble artist. So 2 in 2 days. I don't think I'll be doing that tomorrow unless if I listen to a lot of I don't even know who's third on that list. Maybe Tyler the Creator, someone like that. I'd have to listen to a lot though. Like it'd have to be almost nonstop for me to get them. Kanye and The Weeknd were only like 200-300 away, so that was pretty easy. Anyways, so that's what I've been listening to. Of course, looking forward to The Weeknd's After Hours project, and that is a perfect segue into what is coming out this week. Obviously, The Weeknd's After Hours project, his first project that he'll be dropping since My Dear Melancholy dropped in 2017. Of course, that being like 6 songs long, only about 20 minutes. We have been waiting a long time for a new full-length Weeknd project, with this last full-length dropping in 2016 with Starboy. And Starboy was probably, I don't want to say too much about it because that will be a feature topic of the discussion at the end of this video, but it was disappointing to a degree. Still really, really good, but considering The Weeknd's track record up to that point, it was a little disappointing. So going into this one, a lot of fans could be worried, like, oh, what if he goes in that direction again? It could be a little boring. But 14 tracks, and the singles we've gotten so far, Blinding Lights, Heartless, and After Hours, have been amazing. Blinding Lights and Heartless just have a very good aesthetic to them that are very fun to listen to, and yet you can tell they have that darker overtone. And then After Hours definitely has a dark side to it. It is very much in the vein of House of Balloons, and the fact that it's over 6 minutes long, just barely, but still, I love it when The Weeknd's dropping these 6, 7, 8, 9-minute tracks. Like, they are so amazing, especially when you get to the beat switch, because they basically turn into 2 songs, but with one message or whatever. I love it when he does that, and that is one of my favorite songs that I've heard by him in a long time. So I am very excited for this project, especially considering, obviously, he is one of my favorite artists right now. And honestly, he's just one of my favorite artists to listen to of any generation. Other than that, not really anything's dropping. I will give a shout out to Mac Miller. They will be dropping his deluxe version of Circles. But I doubt I get a review out for that. I might talk about it if I do check it out, just to see what's on it. I don't think that's a project that needed a deluxe version, but we'll see what's on it. I really don't know if they have any confirmations. Yeah, I don't really know what's all going to be on that. It looks like they have a Thundercat feature, so that could be interesting to hear. But yeah, not too much going into that one. I did love Circles. It's definitely still in my top 5 of the year, and I suspect it'll stay that way, or at least in my top 10 of the year going forward. But the music that's come out so far has been amazing, so I don't know, that could change. Now let's go ahead and get into this review of the Blueface project, Find the Beat. Now first off, I've got to say, I actually really enjoyed the name and the cover art for this album. It is literally like, they have Blueface as the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz with a map that he is holding sideways that says Find the Beat, and it has like a track that he's supposed to follow, and he's on the yellow brick road, and behind him there are arrows literally pointing to like speakers that say The Beat, and he is turned away from that as if he cannot find it, which is hilarious, obviously, because his biggest downfall is the fact that he always raps so offbeat, and not in a way that's fun, similar to like let's see. Oh God, his name's slipping me right now. Give me a second. Ski Mask the Slump Gods. On his projects in the past, he's really fun to listen to when he does stuff like that. But Blueface does it, and it sounds like he just has no idea how to rap. His voice can be very annoying. It's not very smooth. Often sounds like it's not really mastered very well. Although he does usually have fun beats to listen to, which to a degree is almost more annoying, because whenever you have good beats, you'd think you could at least rap on them, not completely away from them. That just makes the track sound almost worse, because you're like, oh, it had so much potential. But I can't take that away from him. The beats are enjoyable to listen to. This one, though, again, the beats are enjoyable as usual, albeit very generic. He raps on beat a solid amount of this project. We get a decent Gunna feature on the first track. On the song Weeknd, Lil Baby is featured, and y'all, I promise I don't try to hate Lil Baby. I've heard some good stuff from him here and there, but I hate Lil Baby, and he managed to do worse than Blueface on here. I actually thought that I was thinking, oh yeah, Lil Baby, he's gonna be the bright side of this song. This is gonna be one that pulls me in and says, okay, he has something to. No, he did worse than normal. So whatever. DaBaby does DaBaby. That's all I have to say about him. It's like, you know what to expect. You know what his flow sounds like. It's very infectious. It's very enjoyable. Nothing more to break down there. Other than that, a couple of just features. Stunner for Vegas, NLE Choppa, which by now you should have heard the song Holy Moly if you are a Blueface fan. But yeah, I went into this expecting this to easily be the worst project of the year so far, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was not. That being said, was it bad? Yes, it was very bad. He's still rapping horrible bars. He still sounds horrible even when he is on beat. He still goes off beat a solid amount of the time, or when he is on beat, it sounds like he's barely keeping on the beat. Like, you can tell he's not comfortable with it. His rapping skills are very low. Although, if you want to just turn your mind off and get plugged into it, I could see you doing that, but there are definitely better artists for that. Give a shout out to, like, this year, Key Glock dropped Yellow Tape, and that was a good one to just turn your mind off and listen to. Moneybagg Yo with Time Served, stuff like that. Although, granted, I didn't love either one of those projects. They are better albums than this one that you could do exactly the same thing with. So that being said, I will give this one a 3.5. I was expecting fully to go 3, maybe even a 2, but once I got through it, I was like, you know what, that actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as Fetty Wap. It wasn't as bad as Pop Smoke, rest in peace. Sorry to give you such a bad rating, but it was still bad. Yeah, it wasn't quite as bad as those, but still really, really bad. 3.5 out of 10, I feel like that's a pretty solid rating considering it is a Blueface album, so that's all I have to say on that one. And then our feature topic, keep it very short. The Weeknd. album comes out tomorrow. What is his discography ranking? And this is going to include Trilogy as 3 separate projects. So, how would I rank The Weeknd's discography going from the bottom to the top? Well, I think I'm going to have to go with Starboy at the bottom, as I mentioned. He just went for too much of that pop sound. Didn't really have as much of the sad vibes, as much as the aesthetic as you usually get on The Weeknd project. Now, granted, great songs still came from that. You had the summer hits like I Feel It Coming and Starboy. You get a great Kendrick Lamar feature with The Weeknd killing it as well on Sidewalks. Die For You is probably one of my favorite Weeknd tracks. I mean, you still get really good tracks. That's not even all the ones that I enjoy. That's just to name a few. Daft Punk features on it. Great production, all of that, but still, just compared to the rest of his discography, it felt less focused. It felt more poppy, less R&B. And let's just be totally honest. The Weeknd is a better artist when he is single than when he is in a relationship. All right, so moving on from there, that's the bottom. Next up, I have to go Thursday. That is the middle part of Trilogy. That project, just being that it is the middle part of Trilogy, you know how good House of Balloons is, and then not to give too many spoilers, but Echoes of Silence not being as good as House of Balloons, still better than Thursday. That one just doesn't have as much to vibe with, doesn't have as much of the aesthetic of the other tracks. Now, granted, every single track on there is still really good. It still has a great aesthetic, just doesn't work the same in my opinion. After that, I think I'm going to have to go Echoes of Silence. I know a lot of people probably have that one a lot higher in their discography ranking, but there's just a little bit I can pick apart from other projects that I can say I like a little bit more than that. I do love the Dirty Diana, how he covers that track. I think it's amazing, and probably one of the only covers that I've ever heard where I can say the cover was just as good, almost arguably better than the original, and that's tough to say considering that Michael Jackson sung the original. That being said, I don't think it was better than the original, but there's an argument to be made. Just a lot of great tracks on all the way through here. Here Comes the Sun is a great way to end it. Of course, Echoes of Silence. I love, again, that he has the 8-9 minute songs, whatever, which, again, we're on Thursday, but this one's just better, in my opinion. After that, I am going to go with Beauty Behind the Madness, the album that started it all, got him extremely famous. Great tracks on here, of course. We got The Hills, which was one of the songs that blew up. Can't Feel My Face is the song that I think really put him on the top. Earned It off of 50 Shades of Grey. Of course, you have the Dark Times song with Ed Sheeran featured on it. That is a very good track. A lot of great tracks, but there are just still a couple of songs where it's like, you know, not quite reaching it to that next level. A couple of tracks, not where I would say I would take them off or they are filler, but just where it doesn't have the full aesthetic. It doesn't fit all the way into it. Kind of feels a little bit bloated to where it could have been 50 minutes, but it's an hour and 5 minutes. That being said, regardless, still, I don't want to take off any tracks. It's just that some of the tracks aren't as good as a whole run of tracks on previous albums. So after that, I am going to go My Dear Melancholy. I thought that, and also as I'm looking at it now, I realize I said this came out in 2017. Earlier, it actually came out in 2018 in March. We're nearing up on the 2-year anniversary of it, actually, March 30th. But I was listening to this earlier today, and I thought this was close to my favorite Weeknd project, but looking back on it, listening through it, I can't quite put it there. It's just very through and through a sad, sad project with only 6 songs, 7 if you include the acapella version of Call Out My Name that at least is on here on Spotify. But very, very sad album, and there's no breaks in that. That's what's holding it back for me. Not that it's still not amazing. Obviously, that's what he's going for, but I just get a little bit more out of the other 2 projects that I have left than I do this one. Call Out My Name is still probably the best Weeknd song I've ever heard. the best vocal performance I've ever heard by him, let me say that. And every single track is amazing. The aesthetic is there. It just doesn't have the change of tone to push it to that next level compared to an album such as Kissland. Kissland, I actually did not think I loved as much until I listened to it 2 more times within the past month or two. I realized just how much I do love this project. Every single song on here is really good. Professional, Adaptation. Specifically, let me give a shout out to Pretty. That has become one of my favorite Weeknd songs by far. I think that song is beautiful. Amazing vocal performances, many breaks between the vibes of this album where you get a little bit more upbeat and then you get a little bit more slower, a little bit more party music, a little bit more sad. Amazing project. Very much enjoyed it. And also the Drake feature, of course, on Live For, which is one of the things that definitely helped spur The Weeknd into the forefront. Also including his feature on Take Care, on Crew Love, of course. But yeah, this helping him become more famous and some of his best tracks. Definitely love that project. But you know what number one is. You already knew going into it. It is House of Balloons. That is the, of course, first part of Trilogy. And just the amazing aesthetic, the 6+ minute songs, the sad vibes, the party vibes, the wind down vibes. Vibes. This album, this project is amazing. It was really our introduction into who The Weeknd was. And man, he has yet to top it. But I will say, given the vibes that I am getting from After Hours, he has the potential to do it on After Hours. Will he do it? I don't know. That is hard to say because this project is so amazing. Fingers crossed, though. I love this one. I love how it opens. If I went through and named my favorite tracks, I would just name all 10 of them. Yes, that's including the bonus track thrown in, as I'm considering with all of the Trilogy albums. I'm considering the extra song that was tagged on to the end of each one of them. I would just name every single track, though, if I was talking about my favorites on here. So that's definitely the best. But I get the feeling that After Hours will fall in that top 3 range just based on the singles. Again, you know I don't listen to singles like that, but I have listened to these singles religiously because that's how much I love The Weeknd, and I cannot wait for this project to come out in one day. So I appreciate y'all watching this video. Drug on a little bit long. I thought that was going to be shorter than what it was, but oh well. I very much enjoyed talking about it. I very much got passionate into it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, comment, and sub. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure to hit the bell next to my name for notifications. Share so your friends can watch this video, and I will be hitting y'all up next time with that Weeknd review because you know I can't wait. Peace, y'all.